Okay. Hello? Is that working? Okay. Wow. Okay, yeah. It's so exciting to see so many of you here. And yeah, I can really express what I'm feeling. It's my first in-person talk. So yeah, hope you enjoy. So today my talk is developer experience with Nuxt. So first, let me introduce myself a bit. So my name is Anthony Fu, and I'm a core-team member of Vue, Vite, and Nuxt. I'm also a creator of Vue.use, Vite, Uno CSS, Slide Div, and Elk. And I'm currently working at Nuxt Lab on the framework team. You can find me on my website, antfu.me, or on my GitHub, antfu. So let's talk a bit about developer experience. So recent year, you must be heard this word more and more often. And frameworks have put a lot of effort to improving the developer experience in order to have your workflows more efficient and more productive. And this is a big concept, and that's divided into multiple parts and to see how what we did to actually improve that. So the first one I'm going to pick is the responsiveness. So in Nuxt 3, sorry. Okay, yeah. So in Nuxt 3, we switch our default bundler to Vite, a tool that's well known for its client-side hard module replacements, or so-called HMR. And it provides you to modify from your changes from your code to your apps in nearly no time. And then we introduce Vite Node, the same engine that powered Vite for server-side render HMR. And then we introduced the Nitrom alongside with Nuxt 3. Regarding of how many awesome features Nitrom has, it also provides the backend APIs reload. It's remember the time when you have an Express app that you need to restart your node servers every time you make the changes. This is no longer the case with Nitrom. So combining all these tools, we are able to make your apps responsiveness for any changes you make. No matter it is client-side or server-side renders or backend APIs. So then we also introduced some common practice in Nuxt 3. So we have built-in support for TypeScript and ESM thanks to Vite. And then Nuxt also make it easy to have single-page applications, server-side render, static site generations, or even hybrid and routes. And all of them are built on top your isomorphic code base without any explicit config. So we also introduced layout system, plugins, route middlewares, and to make your app creations more productive and save you the time to help you your code to be better organized. Okay, and then we also introduced some common composition utilities like use state, use async data, or ESO utilities like use head or use ESO methods. And all of them help you to maintain the state from your server side to the client side without much effort. And then, not to speak, we have the one of the best backend integrations powered by Nitrom. So you can deploy your Nuxt apps to Vercel, Netlify, and Cloudflare, or any hosting service with zero config. So, and then the interesting part is that in Nuxt 3, we also introduced some conventions. Instead, we have file-based routing that you can have your components as the same structure as the routing to build multi-page apps easily. And similarly, powered by Nitrom's, we also have file-based server-side APIs. And there you can just define your APIs as a file, and then can serve them directly. And then we have components auto-imports. That's all the Vue components under the components folder will be directly available in any Vue file you have. And unlike global components, it code splits well. And then we have composables. In Nuxt 3, we introduced the composables auto-imports. That you no longer need to write import array from views in every components you have. All the Vue's APIs are directly available in your code. And third-party modules could also contribute to their own APIs or libraries to be auto-import and so as your local composables. And we also introduce client and server-only components. To make it easier, you only need to add .client or .servers at the end of your file, and Nuxt will do the rest for you. And not to mention is that we have all the conventions fully typed end-to-end. You even get auto-completions on TypeScript in your editors when you're doing the programmatic navigations, routing navigations, or calling the APIs from your server, calling your server APIs. And those conventions will help you greatly reduce your boilerplate you need to write, and also save a lot of duplications in your code and help you to better organize your code. OK, and then talking to the ecosystem, Nuxt has a large community that's with building a lot of great modules here. You can see I'm just scrolling here. So all of them here are directly available for Nuxt 3. And modules could make you to integrating some features effortless, and they can help you to maintain the best practice for each integrations. And with all these great features we have with Nuxt, and unfortunately, we have one problem, the transparency. So this can be actually considered as a trade-off of having a framework, or actually have to use any tools. Is that when we build any new features, cool new features, we add a bit abstractions on top of that. And abstractions sometimes could create burden to learn and to understand. And if sometimes the convention can be implicitness, is that you don't know where the component is from or how the component is being used. And also, of course, it can sometimes make your app harder to debug. So how can we improve that? So I made a tool to solve the exactly same problem I had in Vite. It's called Vite plugin inspect. It's a virtual UI to help you to inspect the intermediate stage of your Vite pipeline, Vite transform pipeline. So here is the demo. So you can see this is just a few components I had for my slide deck, and I can click each file and to see. So on the left, there's all the Vite plugins that transform these modules. And you can see the first one is that Vite is injecting some context to this Vue file. And then the Vue compiler is compiling the SFC into a JavaScript format and to be executed by the browser or the bundler. And this is the unplugging Vue import is that doing the auto import. And then finally, we have Vite to transform all the imports to be the path to be compatible with the browser, and also injecting some code for the hot module replacement. So with Vite plugin inspect, it makes your Vite app more transparent to see how your code is being transformed by each plugins. And if you have any, if there's anything goes wrong, you can figure out that which plugin is causing that by seeing the transform code. So, but since this is a Vite app, this is a Vite plugins, it's actually working for any frameworks or tools that build on top of Vite, including Nuxt. But however, this sometimes can be a bit low level, since it's only shows up the code you have been transformed that's not the runtime behavior or something else, since Vite is also framework agnostic. So by taking the context we had in Nuxt, let's go one step forward. So introducing Nuxt devtools. OK, thank you. OK, so Nuxt devtool is a set of virtual tools that's to help you understand your app better. It enhances your developer experience with Nuxt, and it's aimed to help you to improve the transparency for the conventions we introduced, and hopefully that it can help you to monitor the performance and to help you to find the bottleneck of your app. And then we wish it to be interactive and playful. So, and if that were ends, that it would be better to like provide you the personalized documentations based on the features you have used and directly when you need it. So this is our plan for DevTools, and this is indeed a big plan. And today I would like to show you a bit about what we have for now as an early preview. So let's go demo time. All right, so yeah, so you see this is a Elk dev server. This is a Elk dev server, and it's a Mastodon client for it's a Mastodon client built on top of Nuxt, and Daniel's already give a great explanation of how it works and how it begins. So let's see. This one is having the Nuxt module, Nuxt DevTools module installed. And when we have the Nuxt module installed, you have a small, like very small, Nuxt icon here. So when you click it, it will pop up panels right inside your applications. Just be aware that Nuxt DevTool is still in very early preview, so the features might be incomplete or will change things along the way. So let's just see what we have for now. So when we click in, we see a quick overview of your app, like which version of Nuxt you have used, and how many pages, how many components, how many auto imports you have. And this is pretty bearable, and we'll improve that along the way, and hopefully we can have a one-click button to upgrade your Nuxt as we go, probably. And then let's see the features. So the first tab, we have the pages. This listing all the routes have been registered to your app. And you can see all of them, and those are matched routes. And then we can click them we can quickly navigate them by just clicking them. And you can also, let's say, yep, and then when you kind of navigate to pages that's having the parameters, it pops up a window that you can fill something, like say, hello, Amsterdam. And it will navigate to that pages. You can see the route here. And then also you can modify you can use the text box to modify the URL you have. So you can just delete it. And then when it goes orange, it says there is no route matches, so you're probably going to 404. But when you have it, let's say settings and about, maybe. So when navigate, you just click and navigate to your app. So this it would be quite useful when you have like a work in progress pages that you don't have a navigations in your apps, and you can directly navigate them. And then we have the components tab that's listing all the components registered to your app. And you can see that whether it's from the user components, runtime components, or like the components from Nuxt built-in, or like from certified libraries and all the modules you have installed. So you can search for them. That's a Navi logo, and then we can click the path to navigate it to our editor directly. So this can help you to see how many components you have, and if you want to auto-import them, you can just copy the name here. And then, since we know a lot of context of your apps from Nuxt, right? And we can actually build a graph of your components, like their relationship and how they are relying on each other. And as you see, that Elk is a quite complex project and has a lot of components. And then you can probably click in to see, you can filter out by clicking the components to see how each component is being made. And let's go, yeah, probably this one. OK, so you can see that the status visible indicators directly relying on the common tool piece. So if you want to like help optimize your app or something like to improve the size of your components, you can directly see how many components it's relying on and to see the graph of them. And yeah, this is pretty much beginning, and we would like to explore that how it can be to providing more useful information. And also in Nuxt DevTools, we also integrate the inspector. You can click a button here to inspect the elements of in your app, And you can see that in the pop-up, it shows up which components is actually contributing to this element. And you can click it. Click it, it will go to the editors with the specific line of that component, as you can see. So this can help you to make the changes easier without like looking for going deep to see how the project is being organized. Instead, that if I want to change anything, I can just go to the element to change it. And then the third is that we have the auto import entries. Similar to components, it also shows that which component is from where and how many, and if it's from Vue from the library. And here we can see that, for example, Vue use is contributing a lot of utilities for you to use, and the live one is that we actually use it. So we have used a few of them, and you can click it. You can click in to see how each module is referencing to that auto import and how many times. It also gives you a short descriptions of each functions, and of course you can have a link into the documentations of that specific functions, and that's if the modules provide that. And then, sorry, and then if we can see that all the modules installed on our apps and with their informations and links to the documentations. So in the future, we plan to have a bit of a nice UI to help you to install the modules with one click, and also possibly to manage your modules and upgrade them in the UI. I'm just really looking forward to that. And then we have the plugins to see how each plugin is being executed in the order and where they are from, contributing by where. And this page is pretty much work in progress. And also we have runtime config and payload that's contributing by use state or use async data. And here you can see that where we have one entry is color mode is contributing by Nuxt color mode module. And interesting part is that this one is actually reactive and editable. So let's say I can change the dark to light. The app will change to light. So yeah, let me change back. Okay. And so this can help you to like play with your apps with different states as you can like to test it out. And then we have hooks, both client-side hooks and server-side hooks. And you can see how many times it took to execute them and how many listeners executions they have. And you can of course sort them by the order they executed or like by the time they cost. So hopefully they can help you to identify the bottlenecks of your app or even some internal bug of Nuxt. And then we have a virtual file from Nitrom. This is all the files that's generated in order to supporting our conventions. This can be considered a bit advanced to the mostly for the module authors, so I'm skipping that for now. And then, yeah, if you enjoy using Vite plugin inspect, we also integrate that in, so you can directly see them as we expected. So, yeah, that's the feature we had for Nuxt Dev Tool. I hope you like it. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we got one more thing. Okay, so that Nuxt Dev Tool. Okay, so Nuxt Dev Tool is designed to be extendable and flexible. So that means third-party modules could also contributing to the view of the Dev Tool to present their integrations in an interactive way if they want. So here, let's see what we have. For now, the sum of the modules already implemented that. So the first one we see is the view use. You can see the tab contributing by here. Is that you can see all the functions here. You can have an instance search like use storage. You can just instance search it and click it to see how each plugin's each function's documentations. And similarly, we have a Uno CSS inspector. Like when you install the Uno CSS plugins, it will contributing to this view, and you can inspect that how each component is using the atomic CSS and using the utilities and how the CSS being generated for that specific file. And then we have the Vite integrations, the Nuxt-Vite modules I have been working on with Daniel. And you can click in to start a Vite server that's run alongside with your dev server. And it uses the exactly same pipeline as your dev server. And when you change something, you can see the update from on your client side and on the test as well. So yeah, and finally, and we have, thanks to VS Code server, we have a full-featured VS Code servers embedded. So all the modules would work. You have Voila, you have anything, and you can synchronize your settings to here. So this is quite interesting, right? And the cool part is that you can directly add modify your apps right inside the app. So let's say if I want to change the title of elk, so I can change it. I can say, OK, awesome. You see, it doesn't work. Is that server dead? I think server dead. Probably a network issue. I'm sorry. All right. I'll try it again. Oh, yeah. You can see, and if I change it, OK, it doesn't. OK, yeah, you see the changes. I can change it to orange. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah, this is instance. I'm just a bit like the close dev. And this is interesting is that you can close the dev tool at any time you want and open it up. So you can change it to see the app and play with it, and then go back to your editors. So yeah, that's what we had for Nuxt devtools. And we see a lot of potential on it. And we kind of like to invite you to like brainstorming the ideas with us. So that says it's open source today. And you can go to github.com/nuxt/devtools to see it. And yeah, I'll just making it public here. OK. OK, it's done. You can. It's temporarily unavailable. OK, GitHub. OK, yeah, you can see that. And then you can try it today with your app using Nuxt, npx Nuxt as latest devtools enables today. Yep. And thank you. That's all for my talk. And slides can be found on my site, ntfu.me. Thank you.
Wow. That was incredible.